Professional wrestling is a thing. We all secretly love it, even the people that pretend that they don't. Not true. Some people really don't like professional wrestling and will still go, oh, it's all fake. It's all fake. I don't like it. You don't have to like it. You can do whatever you want. First thing I'm going to do, given this is my vlog series, where, usually it's based on, mental health and stuff like that. We're not really talking about that today, but I'll tie it in wearing, this vest top thing today, because it's, really hot here in England, and I've got all these studio lights. If I didn't, I'd be sweltering, but that makes me feel uncomfortable for whatever reason. That probably ties into why I go to the gym in the first place, but I thought I'd throw that out there. There you go. Look, we've all got insecurities. We've all got little things that play on our mind, and sometimes you've got to embrace them, even if it's by addressing them first. My name's Simon Miller, by the way, if you just stumbled across this idiot on the internet. And yeah, I did want to focus on pro wrestling this weekend because, today I should say, about this weekend, because there's been loads of vlogs about my wrestling journey and getting injured and when I'm going to come back and if I'm going to come back. It happened. I've come back. You can hear about Defiant Wrestling. Search them on YouTube right now. I'll make sure a card, I'll probably forget and then remember in an hour. But a little card with Defiant Wrestling will pop up. You can click up. That's the latest episode of Loaded, which is their weekly free YouTube show. And if you go to around about 22 minutes, you will be able to see my comeback. I won't say any more than that. I will tease you with it so you can go and enjoy it and see what you think. And yeah, just another shout out if you're in the Newcastle area this Saturday, April the 27th. You're getting all the information on Defiant Wrestling's webpage. Just search for it on Google. I think that's where my actual physical comeback match is going to be. We still get physical in this episode. But I just wanted to throw it out there. And I wanted to say thank you to everyone that sent me a lot of love over the internet, a lot of support. Said they're really excited to see where this goes. I am as well. Also want to address the people saying, Miller, I bet you go and get injured again and blah, blah, blah. Maybe I will. Maybe my first match back, my other shoulder will explode, or the same one will explode, and I'll be down, I'll be upset. But hey, that's not how I live my life. And personally, I don't think you should live your life whichever way you want. But if somebody asked me for some advice about that, yeah, I'd be like, you can't live your life that way. Because you'll get to 90 and think, what if? And that's kind of what fuels my entire existence. I never want to ask what if. So if something inspires me or motivates me or drives me, I just throw myself into it. And whatever the consequences will be, those are the consequences. And I will accept them for what they are. And I will deal with them and I'll move on to whatever is next. So that's addressed now. If anyone keeps trolling me on the internet, I'll just mention this. I don't want it to happen. I want to make a real go of this and, hopefully add professional wrestler into all these little things that I do because I love what I do. And I never want to take away from that. I always want to add. I think that's really important, especially from my own mental perspective. And that's that. But I think it's more important to shout out the people that were really excited to hear that I was back. And, I think we've kind of forgotten, because you would do. It's been like a year, pretty much to the day. I think the April the 28th is the day I debuted. So essentially a year to the day. And obviously I didn't have that many matches because I did get injured early on. And it does suck. And it was a horrible thing to deal with. And I had some real sort of difficult times with it. But that's just life, isn't it? Of course it was going to happen that way. It's like you pull your hamstring when you get out of bed, and you're a football player. So why couldn't I have done this on the pitch? At least I'm doing the thing I love. But life has a funny way of doing those things. And again, you just got to accept it. And that was ages ago now. And sure, you're putting yourself back in the firing line. A lot of people will think that's dumb. And maybe on some level it is dumb. But you got to be dumb if you want to be tough. I don't necessarily agree with that. But to me, it's a passion project. And I think it's so important, depending on your chemical makeup and who you are as a person. I think it's really important to chase those things because within them, I think you find answers. And that's far more poignant than I meant it to be. But I said this before, and I'll say it again because some people like hearing it. Even when you do something and realize that's not what you want to do, that is still such a weight off your mind. Because again, you can say this as well as my catchphrase. You get on the list and just cross it off, and you can be like, "Oh, sweet, that's not what I wanted to do. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't have to fret about that anymore. I don't have to waste any of my time stressing over that anymore because it wasn't for me." And then you go on to do something else, or maybe you don't. Maybe you realize you're happy with your lot. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Some people in life, all they want is wife, husband, and kids. Sweet, man. Go and get it. Some people, all they want is to be a dentist. Sweet, man. Go do it. And, if you fail your first dentist exam, but deep down you know it's for you, then go do it again. If you fail 10 times, maybe you're not meant to be a dentist, but you'll have the information there. And that's the same with me for professional wrestling. I wanted to tie this anyway, because obviously the CM Punk thing happened as well, and I think there's a cool conversation there too, given the way that CM Punk has lived his life. But yeah, if you didn't see, over the weekend, I think it was MKE, I think was the wrestling promotion. It's a small town promotion in somewhere in America. Milwaukee, was it? I think so, MKE, probably Milwaukee Wrestling or something like that. But yeah, I mean, from what we can only gather the information that we take from the internet, but it certainly seems like CM Punk was doing a meet and greet in that building or somewhere in the vicinity earlier in the day. He was wearing a very specific jumper. And then at the event later on, a man wearing that jumper and a mask came in, gave someone a GTS, pulled the other guy over 1, 2, 3, ran out again, never unmasked. Now, the insinuation was that it was CM Punk. That's what people wanted you to believe. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I have chosen to believe it because I think that's a more fun story. And it's even more cool because it ties into the 2016 interview he did where he said, look, if I ever do come back, I'll probably be just some ninja and you'll never know it's me on an indie show. And I love the fact that he stood by his convictions that much that he actually did it. I mean, that interview is 3 years old. And it just made me laugh. You know, a guy that was WWE champion. I just think that kind of sums CM Punk up. Like, I don't know him, so I'm not going to, sit here and profess his good or bad qualities. But I certainly do respect him for the way that he's gone about his business when it comes to MMA. And I see a lot of trolling, and this ties into the beginning of the video. I see a lot of trolling of CM Punk on the internet when it comes to that. He's crap, and he's did this. Apparently, he entered a jiu-jitsu tournament or a BJJ tournament or something recently, and he finished 3rd out of 3. And everyone was ragging on him for that as well. I'm just like, taking whatever you think about him as a person aside. And again, I know CM Punk, so I'm not going to comment on it. I did meet him once. I used to work for THQ. I think we did this on a vlog as well. I used to work for THQ for a minute. And one of my jobs one day was to look after CM Punk when he was promoting the video game. And to me, he was the nicest person in the world. Couldn't have been nicer. Couldn't have been friendlier. Made me feel very welcome and warm. And there was no stress at all. But again, it ties into what we were saying. He didn't hold back. And for all the negative Nancy's on the internet that will try and pull CM Punk down saying, oh, you're a loser and you lost to this guy, you lost to that guy, you lost to the MMA journalist and now you're losing in BJJ amateur tournaments. So what? So what? I mean, of course he'd rather win, but does that mean he shouldn't do it? Does that mean he shouldn't put himself into a position where he could find not true happiness, but again, something that he's passionate about and been training for a while? I say absolutely not. I think that is just a crazy way. It's a crazy way to look at life like that. Especially if the reason you're not doing it is because you're worried about other people's opinions. If there's no moral ambiguity to it, and there's not here, it's just a guy going out and doing mixed martial arts, how could anybody... I mean, I get why some people want to see others to fail. And I would imagine it's because, one, they don't have much... It's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm not trying to be a dick here. But I would imagine, one, they don't have a lot going on in their lives. So they think to themselves, well, I'll try and pull down others because I haven't found that thing that these other people have, this passion, this love that's fueling them forward. And also, I just think, they're just super negative people. And they don't know how to be positive. And so the best way they can sort of get the thrill is by going on the internet and taking jabs at someone who has been really successful. And I've never understood the fun in trying to drag somebody else down. If anything, you should either want to lift somebody else up or just ignore them completely. Like, if you dislike them to that much of a degree, why do you even care? I mean, we know the answer to this, but sort of, the rhetorical question and sort of the bigger thing when you think about it logically, why do you care? Why do you care? Go live your life. And I think that ties into it as well. Some people don't know what they want, and they don't have the inclination to go out and try and find it, which is also fine. But the bad point comes when they don't find it and then they take it out on other people. And that's what sucks. And that's what ties into the mental health thing. And again, some comments get me. And I'm not trying to speak on behalf of CM Punk, but him and many others, I'm sure they get him sometimes too. I saw him reply to one of them about this tournament. And he said, why on a public forum would you say this when there are kids reading this? We should be inspiring people to do more. And I completely agree. Whether or not that's enough to put a child off, I don't know. But that would be a much better way to approach life and social media, to give this idea, look, of course, winning is good and you'll get a good feeling from it and the sense of achievement and pride is there, but don't not do anything because you don't think you're going to win. I may have said that wrongly, but the point is, do it because you want to do it. Do it because you love it. Do it because you're passionate about it. Do it because it's what gets you up in the morning. It's what completes you. All these cheesy things you see on Instagram, which go too far on Instagram but are true to a certain extent. Do it for that. Do it for that and never stop doing it. And social media is wonderful in many ways, but also that the way people try and tear you down is crazy to me. I like to think I built somewhat of a thick skin to it over the years, but that isn't foolproof, and it can't be foolproof. You wouldn't be human if it was foolproof. You're having a bad day, or you're already feeling a bit vulnerable, which we all do. Again, I talked about the vest earlier. You are it's going to get through every now and then, but that's when you kind of have to be a bit stronger, or teach yourself to be a bit stronger. I wanted to talk about more of my wrestling stuff, but then I realized you don't want to do that. You want people to go and see it. All I will say is that I got to hit my finishing move for the first time in a while. And while I definitely could have hit it better, screwed it up a little bit. I think I was a bit too hyped. I was too hyped. It was really cool to watch it back. I thought, actually, it looks better than I thought it did. Could still be better. Not, not saying that. But, yeah, it was a good time all round. Thank you for the support. I appreciated it. And now we go on and we see what happens. It's a lottery, man. It's a coin flip. I don't know. I could drop down dead tomorrow. I hope I don't. That's Ultimate Warrior stuff. I shouldn't have said that. Touch wood. I shouldn't have said. I really regret saying that. I won't cut it out because I never do. But the point is, you live for today, and you hope tomorrow comes. And if it does, we do it again. And the hardships will arrive as well, but we try and balance those out too. Thank you so much for watching as always. Please do subscribe. Love it when that numbers goes up. It always appreciate it. Like the video, share the video, all the nonsense like that. I do have a Patreon at patreon.com/Simon316 if you'd like to check it out. But otherwise, keep checking out my YouTube channel, and I will talk to you again very soon.